Hola familia, there was a couple of comments about why I set up the jig we did with this part up front. Well, it doesn't matter up front or at the front or at the back of the post. It's just a matter of which distance you need. So it's nothing else about that. I try to be as close as possible from the piece because, as you can imagine, this support is a cheap one. So to have the most accuracy possible, as close as you are, as better the job is going to be done. So just because of that, possibly on Tuesday I'm gonna do a project to show what we can do with that, and also with the with the adjustable table that we did a couple of weeks ago. So possibly, yes, I'm gonna do a bowl and use both techniques on the bowl so you can see and have a better idea if it's useful for you or not. Next thing is the finish for this week. This week I'm gonna talk about the wipe on poly. I suppose that most of you knows wipe on poly because you can find it in any Home Depot or Lowe's. Or wipe on poly is a polyurethane, let's say coated with mineral spirits. It means that you can do your own. For example, a can like this costs about $15. This is 16 ounces and this is 8 ounces. This costs $6.95. If you add another 6 ounces of mineral spirit or lacquer thinner, you're going to have the same amount of here, possibly with $9 or something like that. So you're going to save a little bit, and the result is going to be exactly the same. My way to use it, if I apply 1 or 2 coats to a piece, it will work as a sanding sealer. Then sanding slightly or lightly in between coats with a very fine grit will leave the surface really smooth, ready to use any wax. Because my finish of shoes is always wax. I love it. But if you keep applying coats, because it's very thin coats, it's just on and out. If you keep applying coats, after 6, 7, 8 coats, depending on the grain of the wood, you're gonna achieve a really smooth surface that is gonna look like glass. And at that point, you can use any or our fabric discs for polishing, or any polishing compound, anyone for cars or for sorry. And with that, you're gonna see that it's an amazing finish, but it's a little bit more work. Anyway, it's not the one I use always, but there are pieces that deserves much more care, and this is possibly the easiest, because even using the polyurethane in spray or with a paint gun, it's not that easy to apply. The wipe on poly is much easier and dries much faster because the thing of the layers, and it works very good. So you can give it a try. As I said, this one and this one, as you can see, this is gloss, this is satin. I mean, this is about preference of yours, but with this can, you can make one of the bigger one for possibly 40% less. So just give it a try. I'm gonna leave that. Alan Luna from Denver, Colorado, was here last week, and it was very kind of him. He passed through the workshop and gave me a couple of pieces of wood, some honey locust and some walnut, a crotch of walnut, Uh, I'm gonna do something with that, of course. Thank you very much, Adam, for that. And there was another question about the tools I use. Well, my tools of preference are the ball gouges. And the ball gouges, I have the bigger ones from D-Way Tools. And the 3/8 and a 1/2-inch bottom feeder from Thompson Tools. Both of them are amazing. I really love them. In the other hand, I use some cheap tools because I don't care if I have to sharpen more often, because other tools that I don't usually need, as can be a scraper or a parting tool or even the spindle roughing gouge, these tools I use a lot less, so I don't need to spend that amount of money. For example, I have 3 scrapers from Hurricane, and there was about under $50, including this massive one. Including this massive, it's heavy one, and another 2 sizes under this one for less than $50. I think that price you cannot beat that price. So, and I promise you, they do the job perfectly. As I said, the only trick is that you possibly have to sharpen it a little bit more often because the hardness of the steel, but it's no big deal because these tools are not in use continuously or as much as the ball gouges, or at least is what I do. What about parting tools? Benjamin Best. This is what is? It's a scraper. It's possibly 1/4 of an inch. It's a diamond shape. I have this for over a year, and look at that, it's almost new. So, the one I prefer even over that one is this small one. This is 1/8 of an inch, and it's 1/2 an inch by 1/8 of an inch. And now this one is when I bought it was this big, but it costs $12. No sense to spend more. These do a really good job. So not always you have to think about the best of the best. I am the way of thinking that the tools you actually use a lot, of course, make sense. But tools like, I don't know, beading tools, I use it. I have a set that I didn't use yet in about a year. No sense to spend a lot of money on that. Of course, if you intend to do a continuous job with it, of course you can spend more money. But for tools that you use just every once in a while, don't get crazy about that. And in the other hand, for example, my hollowing tool, this is D-Way Tools as well. And in this case, I went straight on for it because I don't need, this can do small job or big job with just one. So it's no problem. I mean, I don't need 5 of them, just one do the job, and then you replace the tip. So the tool itself is expensive, but the tips are not. So, I mean, more than that, as you know, I did for my own a lot of them. The tools that I'm not going to use intensively, I do my own. So that's it about tools and about finishing and about the project. So I think we are done for this week. For Tuesday, as I said, I'm going to do something with the rotor and the jig for the holes. So until then, if you have any comments, just leave it down below. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful weekend. See you on Tuesday. Bye-bye.